Hello there, in this video we're going to continue building our card component, so let's go. Right, let's go up and let's have a look what's next. So let's click on the component, click on those dashed lines, and click on the plus, and let's just double check where we are. So we need activated. Okay, that's done. Let's just pull that out a little bit more. Let's go in here. And let's just go and have a look again at some of our other components. Looking at the buttons, holding shift and clicking, it's Sapphire 500, so go back to the cards. Let's go here to the stroke and do Sapphire 500. And actually I think I'm just going to bump up that stroke so it's a bit more clear. I might just go in and add a very light background to the card just to make sure we know it's activated. We'll use that for now. Let's have a look what's next. I think we've got pressed, so let's click on variants. Let's go down here, let's scroll up, let's give that a name of pressed. So for the press states, let's go back to buttons. So pressed has actually got a shadow and it's using Sapphire 400. So let's go to Sapphire 400 for the stroke. Okay, and now let's go and add a drop shadow. So let's click on effects. Let's add our variables. Okay, so those variables have been applied. Now let's just add, I think that's already got a small shadow there, so that should be fine. So that's pressed. Now let's just, for now, let's give that the background as well. Sapphire 50. Let's click on the plus and let's drag this down a little bit more to give us a bit more space. So we just did pressed. Let's go to dragged. Okay, let's give that a name, dragged. Okay, so for dragged, let's add in a drop shadow. Let's go here to effects and let's add the variables again. Okay, that's done. So we go from small, I think large seems a bit extreme. Maybe we do medium. So there's just slightly more shadows. You're dragging the card around. Not 100% sure about this background yet either. So I might just take it off for the meantime and just set it to neutral 0. Okay, so for now I've just removed that background. I'm happy with that. Let's go. So we've just done dragged. Let's just move this out a tiny bit as well. Expand this. Okay, let's use large for now. I'm just going to work backwards here. Just see what I'm using for shadows. So this was pressed. Let's do that to medium. And where's hovered? Okay, and that's set to small. Okay, I just wanted to get the shadows in the right order. Wanted to set the hovered to small, wanted to set pressed to medium, and then the largest shadow I was going to apply to dragged when you're dragging the cards around. Right, I think that's good. Let's continue, and the very last one is error. So we'll add another variant at the bottom. Let's give that error. We might not need this state, but I thought I'd add it as well just in case. So let's go error. I think we started with 50. Yeah, there we go. So we're using, if I press shift and click, so we're using 50 for the background. Okay, and for the stroke we're using error 300. So go back to the card. So we've got 50 on the background already. And let's just go to here and add 300. That's good, so we've got some consistency across the different components. So the text field's using similar here for this error state, so we can use a similar style for our cards. Okay, so let's drag out our enabled component here. So option, let's just drag that out. And let's just test drive the component. So we've got enabled, we've got hovered, we've got focused, we have disabled, we've got activated, got pressed, got dragged, and last of all, we've got error. Okay, so those are all our states. Let's just scroll all the way back up to the top. Okay, so what I want to do now is optimize the component for me, the designer, and give me some more flexibility, because currently we've got the states drop down here on the right hand side. I'd quite like to have access to some of the other elements, just like our other components, so we can configure them here in the right panel. So let's just go across here. Okay, so let's start with the image. So I'm going to command click to jump to that layer. I'm going to click up here to multi-edit variants. That selects all the images. I'm going to go down here to appearance where it says apply variable or property. Click on that. There's nothing in there at the moment, so we're going to click on the plus and it's going to be a property. I'm going to call it image, and the value is a true or false. So I'm going to create the property. That should cascade across all the components. Let's go back here to our example. Now, as you can see on the right hand side, we've got image, and now we have the ability to toggle it on or toggle it off. So that makes it quite easy. So potentially we might want some cards in the future that don't have images, and we can do that nice and easy just by toggling this on and off feature. So there's one customization. Okay, let's go back in again to the component. Let's click on our reviews. I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to click under appearance. I'm going to add a new property, and I'm going to put star rating, and I'm just going to edit undo that because I didn't multi-select. Okay, now that's on multi-select. Let's click add a new property. Let's add star rating, and we'll keep it as true. There we go. Let's go across to our example. So now we've got the star ratings and we've got them on or off, and I guess you can dig in a layer deeper and then you can potentially configure what kind of star rating you want. Okay, next let's click on the heading. I've clicked on the text here. Let's click on apply variable or property, click on a plus, and let's give it the name heading. I'm going to leave that value there. Click on create. I'm going to move across here. Let's click on the example again. There we go. And now I can adjust the heading. So if I put heading 1, that'll adjust nicely there. Let's go into the content. I'm going to do the same again. Click apply variable or property, click on a plus, going to add content here, going to click on create property. Let's go back to our example, and there we go. We can configure the content in here. So if I add a load of exclamation marks in there, yep, that updates. Excellent. And here for the last frame, I think I'll just go to appearance, click on apply property, and then just call this pricing. Click on create property. I'll keep it set to true for now. So we can just toggle on the fact if you want to show the price or if you don't want to show the price. So everything can now be configured in this right hand panel. So no image, no star rating, no price, just the heading, just the text, and then just slowly we can expand this out to the full card component with all the features. I think I may have forgotten here to multi-edit variants. So let's just go in, let's click on heading. So as you can see, that's got the property assigned here. I don't think these ones, no, these do not have the property assigned, but that's fine. So I'm just going to go down, I'm going to select them all. There we go. I'm holding Command Shift while clicking. Just going to click here on apply variable property. I'm going to click on heading, that applies that. I'm going to do the same, I think, for content, because I don't think that's done. It's done it on the first one. Yeah, so it's not done it for the others. So let's do the same. So Command and Shift, holding that on the keyboard while clicking all the other elements. Let's click here and let's apply the content property. Okay, so now let's go up and let's just go through. So let's just pick a random state. So let's do dragged. So we can do the image, do the star rating, we've got the heading. Yep, that seems to work. That also seems to work, updating the content. I don't see the pricing though, so let's go back in again. Okay, so that's got pricing here. I wonder if we put it on these. So no, I don't think we have that applied, so that's fine. Let's click through and let's hold Command and Shift. And let's just go through and select all of these. Okay, click on appearance and I want that to be pricing. Let me just go back up to this component. That should now be working. Yep, so we've got pricing here that we can toggle on and off. Let's just make sure we have got everything that we need. So yeah, we've got image, star rating, heading, content, and pricing. That should now be available across all of the different states. Okay, one thing I am going to do quickly is just add an auto layout to both of these. And I just want a fixed height. I always want this to be the minimum height. So let me just add that as 300, click on the small one here, apply an auto layout, which is now this button here. Let's click on height, let's add a minimum height of 200. The reason I'm adding that is because when I was clicking through onto the image here and toggling large and small, it wasn't changing the size of the card, but now adding that minimum fixed height has fixed that issue, so that's good. Alright, so let's tidy up this page. Let's first of all delete all of these because we don't need these in the file. Let's delete the testing area as well, so that should be fine. Let's click in here, let's just tidy up this layout. Okay, so I think that's the page tidied up. So we've got the card, we've got the description, we've got the different states. Yeah, that seems to be okay. We've got the image sizes, we've got the star rating, we've got the price tag down here. Okay, so I'm going to go up here. Just going to zoom out a little bit. Let's just collapse this, lock this. Let's go to assets, let's click on libraries and click on publish. And now we can put a note in here. Okay, that should be fine. I'm just going to click on publish. Okay, so now that component is ready to use in our UI kit. Okay, so looking at the research file and back on the home page, we have tackled the navigation already. Potentially we could do a reusable hero section because that appears on some of the different pages. Same with the company logos, that's mentioned, I'm sure, on other pages. Yeah, so it's on the about page, it's on the courses and merch again, so we could also include that as a reusable component. Benefit cards, again, could be a reusable component because it appears in a different style here on the About Us page. So there is a kind of a portrait and landscape version here. We've done the courses cards just now. We've done the FAQs. There is a carousel component down here as well that we could make. So we've got some options, but for the next video, let's focus here on the heading because it does appear across the About Us. It appears on the courses and merch and the Get in Touch. I don't think it appears on the checkout. Nope, so not on the checkout. So yeah, in the next video, let's focus and create a reusable hero section that we can use across the different pages of our website. Okay, that's it for this video. Thanks for getting to the end. Like and subscribe, add some comments, check out some other videos on my channel. And yeah, I will see you next week for another video. See ya. 4K 60 frames per second. Does that look any better? No, it still looks an absolute mess.